Tom Brady and John Spytek put together a really fantastic process. They and Brian Starkey and Mark Foos went through the original process in culling down the 15 to 17 people they were going to talk to. Then brought in Mike Meldman and Egon Durbin and us for the final 7 or 8 people, and whittled it down. And it was just, it became evident that Klint was probably the one that would be the perfect person to take into the future for what we've got going now with the first pick in the draft and everything else. To have a bright offensive mind, and that is really exciting.
How important is it going to be for him to be able to grow with whoever the number 1 overall pick is going to be, but be able to have that growth together?
Well, that's important, and it's growth with everybody else in the organization as well. Because as he said, it's not just one person; it's about team, and that's what he's hoping to develop here.
And what does it mean to introduce a head coach with all the Raiders legends sitting up there with him? That seems very intentional in the type of support that he has from this franchise.
Well, it's important because I think those gentlemen represent what it means to be a Raider. And I think that support that they're giving him, and for him to see it, the reflection of it. He grew up not liking those guys too much, obviously because he was a Bronco and that. And I didn't really like the Kubiak family too much at that time. So. But now he's part of our family, and we're really excited. He's got a great family as well. I got to spend time with his wife and children last night, and just really excited about the process that we went through to get here. And now it's moving on into the future.
I know last year when you guys introduced Pete Carroll, you hoped that was he was able to bring some stability, but here we, again, introduce a new coach. And there's some sense of frustration that each year there's a different coach. How do you put that in perspective?
Well, again, it's trying to get it right. And that's what we're trying to do. I haven't done that yet. And I think this time, again, I'm thinking right now we do have it right. And hopefully he'll be here for the next 10, 15 years to work with this organization. And that's what the goal is. And the goal is to win Super Bowls. As he said, it's not about individuals, but it's about team and it's about people.
You kind of joked about
culture that comes with Kubiak and what he brings to this organization in that sense.
Well, again, it's going to develop because it's different everywhere. There's not a cookie cutter type of thing. As he said, he's coming to the Raiders now. That's a different organization than anybody else. There's 31 teams, and then there's the Raiders. And he understands that, again, as growing up and his family competing with us through those years. And so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting.
you joked about not.
What's that?
You want Max to stay?
Yeah.
I was just saying, you kind of joked about, not liking the Kubiak family too much, but, back in the day. But how much is it for you to have a coach that is so young but still has the amount of experience and the time around the game as he does, especially, having a father like that from that branch?
Right. Well, it's a great question. And again, it's an easy answer. It's great to have that. His father has 4 rings, and now he's got one on his own. And, that's really exciting for him. And I guess, like they said, he gets to go to a parade tomorrow, but he's coming back and he's going to be the Raider. And trying to get us some parades.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That's okay.
What's the most impressive thing to you about Kubiak?
Well, there's a lot of impressive things about him, but again, it's his just his way of being. I think his family, everything. It's just he's really, really a nice young man, and he's also competitive. As I say, he's a silent assassin. So I think we'll see that, and I think the Raider Nation is going to end up loving him.
You mentioned that you want Max back, or you'd love to have Max back. This is that kind of crazy season where rumors start and reports surface. Have you had a chance to talk to him at all about any of what was said last week?
No, I don't talk about that. I wouldn't talk about it even if I did. What I talk about in the locker room stays in the locker room.
Mark, how important was it for you to have all those guys out there on the stage, sharing the stage with Klint for his first day here?
Well, yeah, as I said just a minute ago, the fact that they know what it means to be a Raider, and I think that that's a reflection of what this organization is about, and I think for Klint to see that and see the support from them is important, and to let him know that he's part of this now.
You look at the roster.
Once a Raider, always a Raider, so he is it.
And if you look at that roster, it's the guys that won the last Super Bowl for the Raiders, plus the guy that played in the last Super Bowl for the Raiders. Is there something to that, or is just those are the guys that you chose?
There was some method to the madness.
What did you see in the Super Bowl on the offensive side of the ball that really impressed you from what Kurt called in that game?
that they scored more points than the other team.
Could you put into perspective kind of like what has Max Price been to this organization? I know he's dealt with a lot of changes throughout his career, but he's still been, a constant presence.
Max has been a great Raider. He is a great Raider. He's gone through a lifetime of development here for 7 or 8 years, and he still is a Raider. So it's all good.
Non-Raider.
Well, again, I think at the beginning of last year we talked about, or this year as well, talked about the infrastructure of the organization. Mike here, Melman, Egon Durbin coming in as owners, partners, along with Tom Brady. Tom is a partner that is football oriented and knows football better than probably anybody right now. To have him part of the organization, Mike in business and hospitality and everything knows more about it than I think anybody I know. Egon is a very accomplished businessman in his own right. And they bring a different structure to the organization and different tools to the organization that gives us the ability to grow on the field and off. And so it's an exciting time right now.
And do you, after this year, do you expect Tom Brady to have a little bit more increased role? Or do you expect him to be in the building a little bit more in the offseason compared to maybe last year?
I think we'll wait and find out.
When you look at the history of the organization since you've been in Vegas, where does this coach, where does the direction that the franchise is going kind of stack up?
Well, again, it's always the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, and that's what we're hoping to get. For the last 43 years or whatever, we failed at the goal of winning a championship, and that's really what it's all about. As I've always said, is that there's one team that wins every year, and that was Seattle this year. The rest of us are looking for answers, and that's what we've got to do, is find the answers.
Are you hopeful?
Every year I am. The thing about sports in general and a team is it's cyclical and linear. Mm-hmm. And when I say it's cyclical, every year you get a new chance. Okay, it's a new season. We're undefeated right now, and all of that. But it's also linear in that it's 40 years since we've achieved the goal that we're after. So it's kind of a bipolar type of thing.
Yeah.
But there's hope, and I feel really good about the structure of the organization and where we're at and the people that are involved, and that's really the most important part of people. And so it's exciting.
Kind of along those same lines, what can you share with us about the vision that Klint laid out for what he plans to do with this team and to build the foundation going forward that gave you confidence that he's the guy to get you guys on track?
Again, it came down to where we are this year, having the first pick in the draft and everything, and understanding that there's a good chance we'll go on the offensive side of the ball. So it might be a good chance that we would want a young offensive mind that could grow with somebody, is what started in my mind, that's the direction we wanted to go. But at the same time, he had to win the job. It's just because there were some really good candidates that we spoke to. And, but he definitely was the one, and it was a risk to wait till after the Super Bowl and see if that we were the ones that were going to get him, but it ended up in our favor.
You got a good look at Fernando. What'd you think of him?
What's that? He looked good. Yeah, he won the national championship. So that's a good thing. We'd like to have that.
How would you define success this next season?
Well, again, success is always winning the Super Bowl, but progress is really what I'm looking for, and I've been looking for the last 5-6 years. And, we just haven't achieved that yet, but keep trying, and sometimes get it right. What do they say? Broken clocks right twice a day.
Right. Right. You mentioned before how Coach is seen from the other side. Being in the Denver organization, saw the greatness of the Raiders, and he said, "We're going to play like these guys up here next to me." How important was that for you to hear that he understood the standard and wants to get back to those championship type guys?
Absolutely important. That's what it's all about. Because there's 31 teams and there's the Raiders.
Right.
And he understands that.
On that note, Kubiak said that it's not going to take words, but it'll be actions to get more Raiders fans at Allegiant. How do you think winning over the next few seasons can really grow the fan base locally, but also add that differential in the stadium between opposing fans and home fans?
I think you're 100% right. Winning will help change that dynamic. When we first moved here, obviously we sold out the stadium locally, and everybody was excited. And unfortunately, we had a pandemic that didn't allow anybody to go to the stadium the second year. So we started off, and there was some excitement. and we just haven't followed through with winning. And Las Vegas is a great place for people to visit. Our stadium is probably one of the nicest in the world, and so people do want to come see it. And unfortunately, we haven't held up our end in winning to start creating and building that local fan base. But it all starts with the kids and stuff like that, so it may be 10 years or so before there is really a strong local fan base, but we're trying every day to get it better.
That number 15 looked great when Michael Crabtree wore it. It could look good again in Allegiant Stadium, possibly.
It's possible. It looked great when Tom Flores wore it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Mark, it looks like the NBA is going to be voting on new expansion teams this summer. Do you have any thoughts on that, or Las Vegas potentially getting an NBA team?
I think Las Vegas is a great market for basketball. There's no question about it. Yeah.
Then at 13?
What's that now?
Would you be at 13?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Mark, many fans have wondered just what the structure is, like the hierarchy, decision-making wise. You know, the statement obviously came out that both John and Tom led the search. How would you describe the hierarchy of decision-making and kind of where everything flows down, I guess?
That's right where it is. Tom and John are running the football side of this building.
So that means,
And that's been pretty clear.
so that means Clint will report to John and Brady.
What's that?
So Clint will report to his
Yeah, to the GM. Tom, yeah.